Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be showing you how to trim and crumb coat your cake. So before you decorate your cakes, you have to go through the process of leveling or trimming your cakes before you do the decoration. That's what we're going to be learning in this video: how to trim the top of your cake and how to trim the sides of your cake as well. So that is what I'm doing already. You would trim the top with a trimming knife, and what I do is to hold my knife flat on the cake, keep my hand to my side, and then turn my cake around with the aid of my turntable. So I'll just keep turning, keep my knife in one position and keep going around, and whatever excess is there would come off by itself. Sometimes you'll be tempted to trim from the right to the left at the beginning. I would advise you not to do that, because you would most times end up with one side of your cake lower than the other and also chopping off a great part. So that's it. I have trimmed the top of my cake, and that's what you can see. You can see that it's flat on top, and I'm good to go. So this is how to trim the top of your cakes with a trimming knife. Now we are going to the sides of the cake, and I've already filled my cake and layered them as well. So what I do is to keep my knife flat on the cake like so, and then go from one end to the other using the zigzag motion. So I'm going up and down slowly. I usually trim faster than this, but because of this video and because I want you to see what I'm doing clearly, I'm just going to take my time to trim this cake from one side to the other. Don't hold your knife at an angle or away from the cake like so. Ensure that you keep it flat on the body of your cake as you go around. Sometimes you might be tempted to overlook or get distracted and you have your knife away from the cake. If this happens, just adjust it correctly and keep trimming from one side to the other. As you can see, I am not chopping off my cake. I'm not chopping off the sides of my cake. I am just trimming the sides so that they are all the same from top to bottom. That is the aim. You want to trim so that they are from top to bottom. If you do not position your knife well, what will happen is that you're going to be trimming only maybe like 2 or 3 layers, and the other 2 or 3 layers below you won't be able to trim it. You can see that it's beginning to look flush, and my knife is flat still on the side of my cake. It's beginning to look leveled from the top to the bottom. That is, I'm beginning to achieve an even amount of thickness or uniformity around the sides. So I'll keep trimming. Trimming takes a lot of time. I tell you, it takes a lot of time, so you want to be patient in doing this. Now I'm going to bring the cake closer so that you can see what I'm seeing. You can see that it's flush, although I'm not there yet, but it's flush from the top to the bottom. So what's going to happen now is that I will take off the crumbs from my board, because I want to flip it and trim from the other side. Please guys, subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, and please give this video a thumbs up. So the next thing for me to do is to apply some buttercream to my cake, because I want to turn it onto the board that I'll be working with, or I'll be decorating the cake on. So I've placed my board. You have to be careful. This board is pretty thick, so it's heavy. So I'm just going to carefully flip, yay, and place it on my turntable, and then go right ahead with the second phase of my trimming. I'll ensure that it's balanced, it's the way I want it, and then I'll just make some adjustments here and there and go with the trimming. But before that, let me show you the knife I use for trimming. That is it. Okay, some people use knives that have wider teeth than this, but this is what I use. I've been using this for like the past 3 years or so, and it's been very, very useful. It comes in really handy when I'm trimming. It was really very sharp, but over time the sharpness reduces, but it will still get the job done. So please get the right trimming tool, the right trimming knife for your cakes. I'll just continue right with the trimming, and you can see that it is not coming off as much as when I did it the first time. That's because I've done the first set of trimming and I am just doing the second phase to achieve a more uniform look or finish from top to bottom. I do this mostly for my fondant cake. In recent times, I do this for my fondant cakes, but if it's for my buttercream cakes, I can just afford to trim from top to bottom or do the first phase of my trimming and I cover my cakes. But after the lockdown, I just decided to do things that will still help me achieve a perfect and beautiful finish with my cakes, but at the same time save some time. But for my fondant, like I said, I do trim twice from top to bottom, flip, and then do the same thing again. So I'm still trimming, going with the zigzag motion until I achieve what I want. So that is it. I'm going to bring it closer again so that you can see. Can you see from top to bottom? I have vanilla cream cake, red velvet, and chocolate cakes right there. So I'm squatting to look and be sure that it's leveled one and that my camera is not bent, because it looks slightly bent to me and it's making my cake look slightly bent as well, but you can see that it's flush. Okay, once again, take a look at it, right? So I'm just going to do the finishing with my trimming. You can see that I'm faster now, so that's what I do normally. I'm very fast with the trimming, just keep going up and down because I've mastered it over time. It's a process that it's not difficult once you know how to get it done, but it takes time. It takes time, so please do not rush the process when you are trimming. So I'm just going to get the crumbs off my board. I'm using the blunt part of my knife to get the crumbs off the board. It's not the sharp part, or it's not the part that I'm using for the trimming, because it's going to cut your cake if you do that. So use the blunt part. Now I've come to the crumb coating. I'm just going to drop a dollop of buttercream on my cake, and then from then take some and apply to the sides of my cake. Formerly, I used to work from a plate or a bowl and apply on the cake, but I just feel, like I said, save time. This is faster for me, although it's preferable using a big offset. That would save you some more time, but this is what I use. I just feel it helps me get a smoother finish. It helps me work faster. So please, whatever works for you, go right ahead and use it. Okay, so I'm crumb coating. The consistency of my buttercream is good enough for me to be able to go around my cake seamlessly without it pulling off my cake. Is light enough for me to spread. It's of a spreadable consistency, and it is light, but not light enough that I'll be having issues with my fondant when I cover, because this is actually a fondant cake I'll be covering. One thing I also do is to dowel my cakes. All right, I dowel my cakes. Once I'm done with the trimming, I dowel before I crumb coat. But in this video and for this cake, I did not do my doweling. I think I forgot or something, or maybe because it was a fondant cake. But when it comes to buttercream cakes, I usually don't make that mistake. I always dowel my cakes. So just to be on the safe side, you want to dowel your cakes after your trimming, before your crumb coating. So I'm almost done with it. I'll finish up with the sides, spreading as I go along, going from right to left. Remember, like I said earlier, the consistency is important. You want a spreadable consistency. Very important to have a right consistency. Now when I'm done with that, I will pick up my bench scraper and go round. I would go round so that I would achieve a smooth finish before I cover my cakes. I love this bench scraper a lot. So you can see how I'm holding it a little angled, a little like a door that is a little open. That's how I explain to my students, like a door that is slightly open, and then I would go around until it is all smooth. I'll take out the excess and then I would do the top, and then I'm ready to go with covering my cake. So just taking that out. I also do this with a smaller or a shorter bench scraper, but I didn't use that in this video. I also do with my offset sometimes, which is what I'm doing right now. So I'll just take off the excess at the top, bringing the buttercream towards myself and then taking off the excess. So that is it. I am ready to go, and I'm ready to cover my cake, which you'll see in a bit. So that's the cake, covered, decorated, nicely done. Thank you for watching this video. Please do not forget to subscribe and like this video.